This tall gentleman, 6'7". That's Ravi. 6'5". Oh, perfect. And James there once again. Thank you so much for joining us. And I will actually talk to you, Ravi, first. Big responsibility, of course, but big childhood dream being realized. And you've done something that all of us wanted. Thank you so much. Yeah. So when you thought of doing this, how, what, when, why? Just let it all out.
I don't know, man. It's difficult to put it in words. It's always been difficult to put it in words. I said that in my last interview also, that, you know, how it feels. And as you said, growing up, nothing else meant more to us. So to capture his life, to what, you know, what he's gone through over 24 years, what the family has gone through, and to understand his mindset, what he was going through, 98, 89, 92, 2008, 2011. It's just been a dream journey. It's been a lot of hard work, but it's been special.
Were you a good cricketer when you were young, or at least you thought? We all think we're great cricketers. Did you think you were a good cricketer when you were young?
Half decent.
You're half decent, not bad. So today's also another big day. Song launch there. Yes, the question will always be there. How does a song come in? Yes, big names involved. How does a song come in a Sachin film?
It's actually the chant that we thought of first. The Sachin chant's been there with us for almost 24, 25 years. And if you take any sports person globally, I don't think, you know, anything else tops more than this chant, whether it's football, whether it's tennis, whether it's this chant. I've been fortunate to travel with him to Melbourne and to Lords and stuff, and you've got 100,000 people standing up and, you know, yelling Sachin, Sachin for almost 5, 7, 8, 10 minutes. So when we thought of a song, we thought that this should be our tribute to him, and this should always be with every Indian for many years to come.
The chants are immortalized, but now it'll be out there in song. But my God, James, you stepped into some very big shoes. 1 billion Indians, don't worry about it, but 1 billion Indians out to pick point. They're going to ask you a question. What are you going to show me that I don't already know about the great man? And how would you answer that?
Well, my answer would be, I think Sachin's obviously been very public on the cricket field, but aside from that, you know, what happens when he goes into the dressing room, into his car, into his house, this is the story. It's the story of the man behind the God, the man behind the legend. It's a very human story. It's a very emotional story, and it allows everybody to see both the greatness of Sachin and the humility and in some level, the ordinariness of Sachin. You know, what does Sachin do when he goes home? Well, this is all in the movie. And we try to chart his journey and really tell it in emotions, you know. I think we really wanted to make a film that was not about facts and figures, but it was about emotions. And we're very fortunate to have not just one, but 2 geniuses involved in this movie with A.R. and Sachin. So we're very humbled.
And another very big genius that gave you a lot of input sitting right in front, Sachin's wife, Anjali, as well. So yeah, I know you had a lot of inputs there. But let me just give a little background on James. James has made actually quite a few sports films, whether it's about tennis, whether it's about football, sort of an expert in the field, putting it across, you know, stories. Emotions run very high. I know you know of Sachin, but when you were traveling in India with him, and recently you all went to London as well, did you understand how big he was? You know, it's sometimes very overawing as a situation when you're standing with him.
Yeah, I mean, for me, coming from the outside, I was aware of who Sachin was and a great cricketer, and I'd caught media, but it surprises me every time. I mean, it surprised me when we were out on Friday, just the love, actually, the emotion that Sachin has a place in people's heart. Most people, when you're making a film about them, people have an idea in their heads. But with Sachin, it's an emotional connection for a lot of people, and I think that was the big responsibility, the billion dreams, but the billion audience members who already have Sachin in their heart, that we can, when they come to see the movie, that it connects to their heart as well as their head.
So Sachin the cricketer and Sachin the person is what we get to see. So we've got a great anthem, the song itself. Just before we unveil it for you, any special words, Ravi, about the song? I know you said you want to immortalize the chant. Was it perfect the first time around when you heard it? Could you actually give an input to the great A.R Rahman and say, no, I think I want to change it?
No, I think we worked on, 15 different themes? We worked on a Calypso theme, we worked on an Indian theme, we worked on an American theme.
So how do you tell A.R Rahman, no?
No, we never said no to him. It was always said, let's make it better. Let's make it as better as a straight drive. So,
would you like to call the man who created this? You know, it's resonating still inside me. Every shot, somehow, it seems like, you know, there's a playback that's going in my mind. I do the honors for you to call the big man, or should I do it? Should we call Mr. Rahman on stage?
Your voice is better, you do it.
That's a really feeble response. I know that we're all here to take journalist bites, but come on. Can we call Rahman Saab on stage? Much better. I'd like to call Mr. Rahman on stage. Big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Goosebumps, sir, goosebumps. Fantastic, you know, putting together so much of emotion in such a small song, very difficult, you know, and you've got footage to play with. This is not a song and dance sequence that will dance according to your tune or will be able to be changed. Any pressure at all? I mean, knowing that, you know, you've got all this footage to deal with and all?
I think we kind of evolved from a basic idea which he wanted, Sachin song. He said, what is the Sachin song he's got in mind? So we first had a version. We did like 14 versions. This was the first version, though. Parts.
Is that how it normally happens? First take is great, but just for safety, another 20.
Dealing with a very extraordinary situation here. We got fans and we got a musicality. We have to find the balance for that. First, initially it was a rap and just a chant, which I liked a lot. And then we changed the whole tune. We did another 2 versions. And then went back to this.
Now, normally...
We just finished it last week.
Oh, you did? And normally, I know that everything, all the magic happens to you at 2 a.m. and 3 a.m., twilight hours in the morning. Was this the 3 a.m. one or was this the 7 a.m. one?
Perfect. No, Sukhwinder doesn't sing in the nights anymore. So
Sukhwinder doesn't sing in the night?
Yeah. So his cutoff time is 8 o'clock now.
Really? You know, we're going to have him speak on that a little bit later. But also when the song came out, I mean, when you watch it back, I know, you know, not everybody has to follow. Like, you know, we're all bhakts of Sachin, let's put it that way. But when you're putting it across, did you also speak to normal friends of yours and say that, you know, did you think, you know, that all those emotions came back in and not just the people involved with the film? Did you show this song to some friends of yours who weren't related to the film?
No, we don't do that, actually. We have a team within ourselves and I just check the vibe. And of course, the people are commissioning me, like he was listening to it. And he has specific, this thing, James listened to it in LA. Yeah. And James had notes, he had notes, Sachin had notes.
Oh, Sachin also had notes?
Yeah, finally. So I think it's all come together. I'm very pleased with what's come out now.
I think we're all very pleased. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we're very pleased, and it's my greatest honor once again on our hallowed turf to call upon Mr. Sachin Tendulkar. I'm going to give you a photo op later as well. What notes did you give Mr. Rahman after you heard this song? I'm very curious to know, sir. Which parts did you say, oh, you know, turn it a little bit here, change a little bit there?
He knows a lot of my music.
Yes,
from the first one.
He's being a good friend. He's being a good friend. No, what does one tell him? I call him A.R. always. I call him A.R. So what does one tell him? You know?
Yeah. But there's a flavor.
Mount Everest ke samne jaake, even Ravi won't be tall there, you know. So it's like Mount Everest ke samne music ke baare mein baat karna. I mean, what does one do?
But also when you're watching this song also, I know replays keep happening in your head only when people are there in front of you. But I love the video also of the song. Yes, the song is playing in the background, but you know, there's so many shots on the nets that we didn't know. There's a puddle of water there where you're jumping back and forth. We're going to see so much more of your life that, you know, we've always wanted to see. Emotions run through your head every time. Now also when you manage to see like a video like this?
Yeah, it brings back all those memories because the shot that you're talking about, you know, we're practicing in the rain. But in those days, we did not have indoor nets facilities. And then one had to prepare himself before you played number of series. And that was the only option because I had to find my ways to stay in touch.
Oh, I thought that was a technique you were figuring out maybe if the ball goes...
Not really, because we did not have indoor nets. I would practice like that. I would call all my friends and then we would practice in the rain. And the beauty was nothing could stop us from playing. Even the heaviest of the rains, we would still go out and play. And I would intentionally be wearing helmet and leg guards and thigh guard, my whole kit, because it was all about a proper feel and all that. But coming back to talking about the movie and the memories that I've been able to relive, it's simply magnificent. It's really overwhelming. And when you look back at your life and you think that, oh, years passed by so quickly and so many things happened in my life. Because when you're in the middle of the action, you want to just move forward and think about the next goal, the next target, the next match. And you keep forgetting what's happened in the past, because that was a mantra at home that let rest of the world talk about the last match, we think about the next match. So I kept, following that. And today suddenly to know that there is a movie made on my life, and this song, which is Sachin's song, AR has done that with Sukhwinder. It's a formidable combination, I would say. I mean, with Ravi and James doing his work.
Forgot Irshad Kamal.
Yes, of course.
Shad
yes.
helped put it all together.
So it's a solid combination. But for me, I never thought Sachin would continue beyond my playing days. Here now it's gone to the theaters. So I'm,
I was telling you in the car, once you become president, maybe they'll put this song in.
I have to actually ask you this. Do you actually remember the first time that they actually chanted Sachin in India? Like when this entire, I know what this talk about the cricketers, but this rhythmic chant of Sachin, do you remember the time when it actually started?
My mother would do that. When I would be playing downstairs in the building and I wouldn't want to come home. So that's when my mother would go, Sachin. Upar aa jao.
And just before I talk a little bit more of the song, this most adorable picture of yours. In all my history books, somehow I've never managed to find out the story. This little baby shot of you with the bat in his hand. What's the story of this one? I mean, yeah, you have to change the frame on this. But yeah, this shot. This is like the cutest shot of you of all time. The story of this.
This was actually taken at home when I was playing cricket with my brother. This was in the balcony and nothing. You can see my grip, still bottom-handed grip. So.
Yeah, were you a good cricketer at this time as well? Were you being able to?
I was only 4 or 5.
And
only
still
four, I think, yeah.
The positioning of the bat and the feet are still the perfect position right now.
I wouldn't say so. थोड़े बहुत changes हो गए उसके बाद. मगर what I enjoyed was hitting the ball, and be it a cricket bat or a tennis racket. My brother would chuck tennis balls at me, and few of them I would hit with tennis racket and few of them with cricket bat.
And you would break most of the things in the house.
No, by then we had moved out of the house, okay, because I had started breaking too many windows.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this film is going to be coming out. I know this one last question I would like to ask you. Very difficult to put your life into 2 hours. It's more a process of elimination from the director to the writers. It probably is going to be very, very difficult because we'll all want so much more. Because everyone seems to know everything about you. And that's what James said. There's another part of you that is going to be shown, Sachin the person. Was that also interesting to actually watch when you were watching it being made, or when they were discussing it? Because everything else we seem to know, because it's all there on statistics and we watch.
You guys don't know everything. And that's why this movie, because there are so many moments, the footage that we've been able to capture and take the footage from my personal account at home. It stays in the locker, but that footage nobody had access to. That footage was only for the family and no one else. So being a private person, I had to kind of balance that out. I know my fans want to know more about me, and I want to also get closer to them and show the other side of me, what they have not seen. But then it was also up to the family कि कहाँ तक हम आगे ले जा सकते हैं इसको, कि we had to meet that point where both of us were comfortable. The fans were happy and we were also comfortable sharing that. So we've been able to do that in this movie. So you will see a lot of things which nobody has seen or heard about.
You've probably seen more, right? Because you probably saw all of it and then said, okay, no, we can't take all of this.
We've seen not 10,000 hours of footage.
10,000 hours of footage.
Of archival footage, and we've used about 20-25 minutes.
Okay, so we'll have a series of 10 Sachin films that will come out. We're sure about that. But Shrikant Basti, I would like to call on stage from Carnival Motion Pictures as well, also involved with this film. Big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. What do you think about the song, sir? I had goosebumps everywhere. It was fantastic. It was almost like I was watching another cricket match in like 4 minutes. What do you think about the song?
I mean, it's great. I mean, it's a amalgamation of God of cricket and God of music. And what else, like, you can expect? I mean, it's one of the great things, like, in your life.
Were you also a cricket lover on your own, good cricketer when you were young? Or no? Just watching Sachin was enough?
Watching Sachin and playing a little bit, like, the gully cricket.
Yes. We all play gully cricket at home, don't we? It's fantastic. Or either PlayStation or gully cricket. All right, lots more people involved with this. I would like to call a gentleman whose name was taken a while back, Mr. Ishaq Kamil, sir. I would like to call you on stage. Mr. Anil Thadani, the film's distributor. Yes, he'll do a better job of singing Sachin, Sachin. Mr. Sukhwinder Singh, big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Musical genius. Every time I see him, I marvel at his... So good to see you, sir. And yeah. We'll do some more photo ops. Continues. How are you, sir? Okay. Right, left, all okay? Yeah. We'll do one more. Thank you, gentlemen. Please do take a seat. Thank you so much, Sachin sir, for joining us. Ladies and gentlemen, big round of applause for Sachin sir. Big round of applause. Okay, solo, yes. Thank you so much, Sachin sir. Big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. I'd have a small surprise. You can't call Sukhwinder Baji on stage.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Congratulations. And Sachin was always great. He is great. He will be great. I remember one thing only I want to share with all of you. किसी ने मेरे को कहा कहता यार I met Sachin. यार वो बोलता नहीं मैं क्या उसका बल्ला बोलता है.
Thank you so much, Sikhi ji.
Yes.
And we're open. Please go ahead.
Hi.
Hi, this is Harish from Business of Cinema.
Hi.
Ravi, Sachin just said that he's a very private person. So how you managed to meet him, make a movie, on him?
See, I started talking to him in 2012, so it's been almost 5 years that, we've been making this film. And initially, initially when I approached him, he said, I'm a very private person and I don't want to act. So what I told him, you don't have to act. It's just real-time footage that we're going to use. It's not that he's acting in the film. We followed him for almost 3-4 years since the time we spoke. So it was kind of difficult to convince him, but what I told him was that the story needs to be told. Your story, your struggles, your highs, your lows, your family, the struggles that the family went through. It wasn't easy. We all thought that, he used to go out there, score all those runs. He scored about 34,000 international runs. It really was a struggle after a point. So I said, your story as an inspiration to India needs to be told. I think that's why he agreed to, do it.
Hi, Ravi. How did James come into picture? Like when you were making a documentary or a movie on Sachin, why didn't you think of Indian director?
See, what I thought, even if you're not a fan of Sachin in India, you've always grown up or you're always in awe of him because who he is. So I just thought that the perspective of a director, of an Indian director, might not just, he might just be too much in awe of him. That's the only reason, why I thought that, probably we should go with someone who's objectively looking at a subject like Sachin.
James, how much did you know about Sachin before you started? Like, of course, you knew him like a sports person, but, like he said that you were not in awe of him.
Yeah, I mean, I am in awe of him. I mean, he's I love cricket, and so I'm in awe of him as a sportsman, as a person, and more in awe of him after having made the film. But, I think from the point of view of trying to make a film, write and direct it, it's good to have an outside perspective. I mean, I was lucky to work with Ravi and Shiva and Sandeep and, obviously Sachin and his family himself and kind of working out the story. And the one thing is I would say that, Sachin's such a big figure. His shadow looms all over India. So from London, you can see more of the man, but you're still looking up, but maybe not quite as far up.
Hi Ravi, this is Ravi.
Hi. Hi Ravi, this is Ravi.
रवि ऑफ लेट बहुत सारी अभी स्पोर्ट्स पे फिल्में बनने लगी हैं, तो किसी तरह की एप्रीहेंशन थी जब आप सचिन फिल्म बना रहे थे? साल में 2-3 फिल्में आजकल आ ही जा रही हैं स्पोर्ट्स पर, तो आपको लगता है कि कोई एप्रीहेंशन था आपके मन में जब आप सचिन बना रहे थे? ऑब्वियसली सचिन जैसा कोई नहीं है, फिर भी मैं ये सवाल पूछ रहा हूँ आपसे।
नहीं, हमने तो 2012 से चालू कर दिया ना, तब तक तो कोई फिल्म आई नहीं थी। हम तो अभी 2-3 साल से सब फिल्म आ रही है, हम तो 2012 से काम कर रहे हैं इसमें। सो we wanted to do it, so that's what. I don't think there's any apprehension of making, as in, he's a unique subject, so there's a unique film.
Hi Rahman, this here. Rahman, if I can ask in Hindi, जानना चाहूँगा आपसे कि is there any quality with which you identify yourself with Sachin? Like, if you can say something about that.
Everybody finds something common. I don't know what it is, but I think both of us look young, the same height, I think. But I find a kind of patriotism in his approach, and that's the reason I did Hind Mein Jind. And when Irshad gave me this coinage of Hind Mein Jind, I first thought that I should use this in this film. And it was not even conceived, so I played it to Ravi, and he liked it, and then played it to James, and James liked it, and then that song I wanted to sing also. So because it's Sachin's movie, and I wanted to be a part of it, even my voice.
Thank you so much.
रहमान जी, मेरा सवाल आपसे है कि ये जो सचिन 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 एक एंथम बना हुआ है, इसे गाने में बनाना कितना डिफिकल्ट या आसान था और कितना चैलेंजिंग था, अगर आप कुछ बताओ?
It's a challenge because you never have a chant as a chorus. It's just like almost like Carmina Burana, where people are shouting in a stadium kind of thing, and how much can you take that? So when I was working with this, I found those 4 chords and I put this chorus on top, and then some magic happened. People are saying they're getting gooseflesh, and I said, okay, now it's on. So that actually helped us. The basic foundation of this song was that, and then we had differences for what kind of, we wanted to try something more Latin or, you know, something very peppy, and finally came to this one, which is, it's got the right tone, I feel, you know, with the right voice, and Nishaji gave those beautiful lyrics.
Hi, I'm
On the right.
there. Renuka from Bombay Times. I would like to ask James a question. How difficult was it to not get into idol worship while making a film on Sachin? How could you be objective, or how, as someone who follows cricket? Will we also see a lot of times a biopic runs into being a film which is just talks about the positive things? But in this film, have you tried to look beyond it?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's a film and it wants to be an emotional drama, and we want to understand Sachin and his life and his challenges. So for me, the art of it is putting in the lows as well as the highs, really. And we try and chart that journey and graph that journey emotionally, because, you know, the reward of the highs and the ecstasy of the great moments is so much less unless you've seen from how low the hero of the movie has been. So, you know, Sachin is an incredible figure, and it has a huge amount of positivity around him. But I try to really get inside the man, really, and show what his struggles were and his own periods of darkness, really, so that we could. I mean, I want people to go to the movie and see it as being there on that journey with Sachin as intimately as possible. They're stood next to him as he faces the challenges that come in his life, and so that's what we really try to push on, you know, just so that you feel more, you feel deeper.
Just one more question. How difficult was it to work with Rahman sir and Sachin, since both of them barely talk?
Well, actually, they both talk quite a lot in my experience, but there was nothing difficult at all. I mean, I was blessed, I think, is the only way to describe it. You know, blessed to have, as I said before, two geniuses, and little old me and big old Ravi. So,
thank you so much. And by the way, I'd like to add to that, Sachin Tendulkar actually talks a lot. So if you actually do an interview with him, yeah, make sure it's one-on-one, it'll be forever. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. It was my pleasure, and thank you so much, gentlemen. It was really our pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hello.
Thank you.
James?
Oh, yes, sorry.
One last question. Yeah, last question.
Yeah.
James, where does the movie end in terms of Sachin's career? Like, does it end at the World Cup, or...
No, you'll have to see the film. I'll answer that question.
Yeah,
Please see the film.
Yeah.
It started in 2012, so after it happened, we'll watch it, buddy. Thanks so much.